Reverend Matty F Show, live from Studio M. Peace up and let it all hang out.
All right. What is up? Welcome. Hell yeah. Hey, welcome to episode 1 in the Reverend Matty F interview series with Terror Garden here on a Sunday night in beautiful downtown Queens, New York. I'm the Reverend Matty F. This is Studio M. And from here, I broadcast to you from a clandestine location in beautiful downtown Queens, New York. I'm happy to say that we have our moderator here, Deltomics.
Dear God in heaven, it's Deltomics on the Reverend Matty F Show.
All right. We have got Terror Garden. And then we have Terror Garden, and then we have some more Terror Garden all lined up tonight on the Reverend Matty F Show. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna just play one of their. I'm gonna play their single, that's out there now. I'm gonna play one of their singles, and then I'm gonna bring them in, and we're gonna start hanging with Terror Garden. So now I give you, "I Don't Care" by Terror Garden on the Reverend Matty F Show. I'm going to unmute your mics now. Stand by, guys. Hi, honey. How you doing? You're easier to look at than the rest of these clowns. I don't know what kind of audio quality you guys are getting, but it sounds okay. All right. There we go. It needed a little juice. Okay, right after this song, I'm bringing you guys in. What part of Paul is that?
I don't know. I don't pay attention anymore.
Gee, you're gonna love this. I'm a real asshole. It's okay. You're beautiful, man. Don't worry.
Bill's trying again right now.
Oh God, I see him. I see you, Bill.
Wow, hey, G. What's up, gang? What's good? I'm doing awesome now. Thanks. I'm on my daughter's phone. She figured it out. Thank you. Can't do it, but eventually.
Brand new. Excellent single, I Don't Care by Terra Garden on the Reverend Matty F Show.
Peace up, bitches.
All right, let me bring you guys in. Ladies and gentlemen, Terra Garden. All right, we've got Deltomics, our moderator, in the audience. We've got Metal Shocker 48, who told me while we were waiting that he totally digs Terra Garden, and we lost Paul. Where's Paul?
I don't know.
Yeah, here he is now.
He's always
Paul,
running
don't
around.
do that to me, man. Paul, okay.
Hey.
All right, we just played I Don't Care.
I don't care.
But I Don't Care by Terra Garden. We've got everybody, give a thumbs up as I say your name. We have Paul Terror.
That'd be me.
We got Wild Bill Sherman. I don't know what happened to Bill. We've got Mike DeGrucci and we've got G.
That's me.
Yes, G is she.
Is she? I like
G
that.
is she.
Thank you.
Okay.
And this is my cat, Tabby, by the way. She apparently needs to say
Excellent.
hello as well.
This is I see. Look, check it out.
Yeah.
Oh wait a minute. This is now going to be the G show.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I go first. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. More on this later. Okay. Easy. What is that?
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right, Paul. First, let me get on the obvious stuff. Okay. We are still in the grips of this pandemic. Okay. And I don't think that there's an industry other than the bar industry itself that has been adversely affected as badly as the live performers and the musicians. So, let me ask first, everybody's well?
Yes.
Yes.
Nobody had it?
No.
No.
Thank God, because
Thank
I
God.
had it and it would not be a nice experience. It was a horror show.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
However, now I have antibodies, which means I can't get it again for at least another few months. Then I'll go out and reinfect myself, you know. At any rate, so you guys are you guys starting to gig again? You got shows going on or anything? I understand that there's some restrictions lifted out on Long Island.
No.
No. So
No.
what are you guys just doing studio stuff?
Well, actually, go ahead, Mike.
Well, we played our first show back in July, an indoor show, and that was breath of fresh air because it was when all the restrictions started to get lifted a little bit. And then we released Keep It Real in September, and we kind of had to go our own way about it to do an actual release party. It would typically be in a bar, but we actually had to do like an outdoor park and get a permit and everything.
We rented a park. We rented
just so we can do a proper CD release party. So that's what it's come down to at this point. And yeah, we have a gig or two left for the rest of the year, but 2021 is kind of open-ended. No one knows really what's going to happen.
Huh.
So,
well, you know, we're just gonna have to see how that goes. So, okay, we heard, I Don't Care, and you have another one called Learn How to Drive. Now this, I did a project, back about 10 years ago that we called Mr. Neutron, and the modus operandi was that
Asshole.
I have to shout somebody out.
Great googly moogly, it's Rock and Roll FM on the Reverend Matty F Show. A true asshole.
Okay. Rock and Roll, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by. Everything is, there you go.
Are we allowed to chat?
Well, no, it doesn't let you into the stream chat. The chat that you're looking at is private, just between us.
Gotcha.
This little thing, you see, I could raise it up and then put it back down, but it's one of those. Yes, I get from my friend Rock and Roll FM, who, by the way, lives in Russia. Okay,
Nice.
and this is the kind of thing that I get because I am the king of all assholes. Okay, so the modus operandi for Mr. Neutron is that I would write all the songs based on some screwed up trait of a person that I actually encountered in my real life, which resulted in titles like Legend in Your Own Mind, Recidivist, Ass Kisser, things like this. And it seems like you guys kind of have that sort of a bent. Selfie Queen, Learn How to Drive, Go Fund Yourself, put me on the guest list. And my favorite, I gotta admit, my favorite song of all time, not only because I like what the lyrics say, but the way that they're executed is "Shut Up and Buy Me a Drink." Because the first thing you hear is, "It cost me $20 to get in here."
Yeah.
And there's nothing going on. So that song has gotten a lot of play on there. On the Reverend Matty show.
Staple song.
I consider it a staple on the stream.
Nice.
Thank you.
I play it. If I don't, Tom, do I not always play that song at least once? If it's a 4-hour stream, I might hit everything twice. Sometimes I go for 4 hours if I'm doing good. So did I nail a little something on the modus operandi of how to, this kind of stuff that you're writing? Did I read that right? You think?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, lyrically,
yeah.
I usually write the lyrics, and I'm not one of those Dungeons and Dragons guy.
Yeah.
I basically write what I see, what's around me.
Yeah.
Reality. I'm a realist.
Uh-huh.
Try to keep it real, like the CD says.
Yes.
And that's what comes out. So yeah, you go on Facebook, you see all these selfie queens.
Yeah.
You have all these scam artists with these GoFundMes that ruin it for the people that actually need to go.
You could go on GoFundMe with your landlord ready to evict you any minute now, and no one will donate. But
Nope.
if somebody has a sick dog that needs like a minor surgery on his leg or something, you'll make 10 grand.
Easily.
You know, it's just such crazy stuff. So when you do some of your songs, things like, you know, stuff that's really like obviously about somebody, but you're not mentioning any names.
Oh no,
do you
mention names?
You do? Because I used to do it so that we used to arrange the shows so that we knew that there were people there that were wondering after the show was over if that song was about them.
About them.
Oh no, I'll tell them that the song is about them.
I never disclose. I had to disclose one time because I wrote a song called The Hand of Mediocrity.
Mm-hmm.
And it was about how screwed up it would be if everybody's highest aspiration was to be ordinary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and somebody that I know heard the song. I released it on YouTube, and somebody heard it, and the guy got triggered and thought it was about him, and it was a social media disaster.
Really?
Okay, so at that point, I had to like get a hold of the guy and tell him what the song was about. It wasn't about him, you know. But these things, you know, these things kind of happen sometimes. But I got to tell you, I totally dig that mode of operation and that freaking tapestry or whatever it is that's behind you, G. What is that? Is that your wallpaper? That's what you...
It's a tapestry on the wall.
It is? You hung a tapestry up?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's cloth.
You're really into earth tones, aren't you? Yeah.
It's a... Yep.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Nice. I'm glad you like it.
Yes, yes.
They won't
okay, so...
hang up anything at the mental institution.
Yeah, you know, it covers it covers the soft walls, you know. All right, so...
Padded. His wall's padded, actually.
Yes.
So now, wait a minute. I think Bill's trying again.
Hey, Bill.
We keep
we're pulling for you. Come on.
Come on, Bill.
All right, I see Bill. I see Bill. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Bill. All right. Okay. All right, the back to what part of Paul was that?
Of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul's got toys.
Yeah. All right. All right, Mike. Mike?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello, Mike? Mike? Are you there, Mike?
Mic check?
No, I'm totally fucking with you. I hear everything. Okay, so now, Paul, you're the vocalist, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and Wild Bill, who just disappeared again, is the bassist, and G is the drummer, which makes Signor De Grucci here the guitarist.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. Gibson?
Yeah, one of them. I play a Gibson Les Paul traditional.
Nice.
And I have a Santana Paul Reed Smith. Those are my two main guitars.
That's like a custom 24 with his mods, right?
Not 24 fret, but it's 22.
It's still really excellent guitars. Excellent. Yeah.
And I occasionally play an Ibanez gem, like Steve Vai.
Excellent. I have I recently acquired a Traveler Vibrant, Vibrant, Vibrant 88, which is a scaled down Ibanez gem where they cut off everything so it's about the size of the pick guard.
Really?
And it just has the bottom cutaway on it. And they cut the headstock down, and so I have this full-size neck and this tiny guitar because I'm sitting, if you're watching the stream like on Twitch or on YouTube, I have to sidestep into this thing. I'm in like a little tiny cockpit here. I'm surrounded by a rat's nest of cables and wires.
I know it
and
well.
Keyboards everywhere. You know what the score is, right? So let's get another one of your songs under our belt. How about Learn How to Drive?
That's great.
You want to do that next, or you want me to throw on a staple?
Learn How to Drive's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Learn How to Drive?
Sure.
All you
G.
bad drivers out there,
G.
pay attention.
G?
You know what it's about.
Wait, I'm talking to G. G, can you come a little closer to the camera, please?
Sure.
A little closer. Get a little closer. Do you think I'm an asshole?
Am I?
Do you think I'm an asshole?
Listen, assholes come in every shape and color, but
all right.
Nobody in this chat is not one of those. So
okay,
no
cool,
worries.
cool. It's all right because I'm an asshole.
Yeah, we all can be.
Okay. Yes, and it's all right. You know, you guys could drink, or if you smoke or vape or anything, you can do whatever you want on the stream. But in the meantime, here's Learn How to Drive on the Reverend Matty F Show. Damn you all.
We might be vaping soon.
Know it.
Oh, there's Paul there. There goes Paul.
As long as you don't do anything that appears to be injurious to yourself.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
They got rules.
Okay. That's pretty cool, though.
So, while you're doing that, I'm going to sanitize.
Hey, Rev, Bill says you have him on backstage.
I'm going to put him on front stage as soon as this hand sanitizer dries. Because I believe in sanitizing.
So he's in the room, he's just not... Oh, there he is.
There he is. Hiya, Bill.
What's up, guys?
And now, you know, once you sanitize the outside of your body, you got to sanitize the inside. And you know, alcohol kills germs.
Yeah, all right. All right. That's good. Thank you so much.
So always remember, sanitize the inside also.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah. Add me on backstage, everybody. Thanks. What's up, Rev?
Wild Bill, I can hear you.
What's up, gang? My daughter helped me out.
Your daughter rocks. Tell her we said thank you.
Big time.
Cheers to you guys.
She's giving you thumbs up right now, man. Thanks. Want to say hi?
I also play a trout. Okay, everybody's looking good. We got Bill, like he's wearing a Misfits shirt. How cool is that?
His daughter figured it out.
Hell yeah.
You're wearing Crew. He's got Testament. He's got Terror Garden, a shirt that I don't have because it doesn't come in gigantic X.
We're big fans of the Fits over here. We got them hanging.
Misfits, nice.
Yeah, man. Do you remember when that stuff was new, Bill?
Oh man, I do.
Yeah. You know, I played at CBGB's.
No way.
Yeah. That's how old I am.
I'm fucked. I did quite a few gigs there myself.
Yeah. I was never there because I got booked. I was always there because somebody was sick and I had to sit in.
All right, on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Your audio is really good now, Bill. For a guy that had to try 10,000 times to get in, your audio is nice now.
That's awesome. Thanks.
We're getting some questions on the public chat.
Tony's
Yeah, Tony's there.
We've got Anthony Cianciotto
Yes.
says, "Hey, Bill, Metal Shocker. Where did the lyrical content? Yeah, where did the lyrical content come from? You can't sing for you can't sing for shit. Let's wait until the song's over, and then we'll address it. I'm having some connection issues with the chat. Hang on. Oh, here we go. I'll watch this one instead of this one.
Tabby.
I use like a cross-platform chat for YouTube and for Twitch, and it's not responding right now, so I gotta watch both.
The Reverend Matty F Show. Live from Studio M in beautiful downtown Queens, New York.
All right, so now on the song "You Can't Sing for Shit," where did the lyrical content come from? And was it aimed towards someone in particular?
Well,
Oh boy.
have you ever seen some of these Disney shows? They have all these kids, they have Disney shows.
Right.
And just like back in the day, like they tried to do with, let's say, William Shatner.
Yeah.
Because he was on a hit TV show, they had him sing Mr. Tambourine Man.
Yes, yes.
And nowadays, it seems that all these kids that have Disney shows are instant pop stars. Even if they could sing or not, they're pop stars. And they invest all this money in them. And these people can't sing for shit.
Yeah. Ever since the Antares auto-tune, everybody thinks they could sing.
Everybody. And then we have some bands and people that we've came across where we're from that weekly have to post YouTube or Facebook videos and they can't sing. So between the celebrities that think they're pop stars and other people that are basically either tone deaf or ignorant,
right.
But they have to get attention some way, somehow, even if they sing badly.
Right.
They still feel that need. Look at me, I want attention. We got some guy out here who can't sing for shit, and that's how I wrote the lyrics.
Yeah, this is from Metal Shocker 48. You see the question or the comment?
Oh, cool.
Appreciate the support. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, that's
the guy totally digs you.
That's awesome.
Digs you guys.
Thank you.
You know.
Excellent.
The intro is very special.
Yeah. The
Yes. Yes.
Let me see. Unfortunately, I don't have that one, but we got plenty. We got plenty to get through. Now,
let's talk about Learn How to Drive that we just played.
Okay, Learn How to Drive. It kind of reminds me of that piece of the Grand Central Parkway where there's like really high walls and everybody has an accident.
Yes, we have out here on the Southern State Parkway, we have a couple of mile stretch of road where the same thing is a big curve.
Dead man's curve.
Yes.
Oh, I actually know about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like,
Your Reverend used to drive at one time while he could still walk.
Yeah, I wrote the lyrics to that, trying to drive to get to work. You know how you're trying to get to work and you're running late and you're in a rush, you know, and you got somebody in front of you.
Yeah.
All you see is a patch of gray and knuckles going like 10 miles an hour.
Yes.
Or you got the guy with the turban and the yellow cab that
Right.
has no fucking clue.
All the time.
Learn How to Drive. That's how I got the lyrics for that.
Wow.
what about the guy that got the glasses like this? And you look at him after you pass him, after you finally pass him, he's going like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I got to tell you, I used to drive back and forth to Manhattan through the Queens Midtown Tunnel every day.
Jesus.
From that area right near exit 19, because that's where I'm from. Don't say the city name, because it's a clandestine location in beautiful downtown Queens, New York. Okay? But I see stuff on the I used to see stuff on the LIE that could like curl your hair.
Oh, no doubt.
I have seen people watching television,
Oh, forget it.
watching TV with a newspaper. I've seen guys with scissors trimming their mustaches on the LIE.
Wow.
Like, I see people, like, these people must live in their cars, man.
Oh,
And then when I would get off, there's that big boulevard there, don't say the name,
they do.
by Queens Center Mall.
Uh-huh.
It became like a thing to have a TV on your dashboard.
Really?
Yeah, and you would pull up next to somebody coming up to a light, you see that special
Yeah.
moving bluish
I
glow
see.
that you see from a TV. And it's like, what is this guy watching
Yeah,
TV?
too.
And you look and say, he is watching TV.
Was he watching Judge Judy at least?
I ride a rig, and I'm high up. I drive high up because I ride a rig, and I could have a really good view of what's going on down there. If I was a cop, I would just ride a rig because you could just see you just poke them out, make your quota in one shift. Boom, 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 boom. 'Cause
Yeah.
when you're high up like that, you could see down, and they all watch the TV, eating, trimming their toenails, painting their nails.
Tell me about it. It's like the way it is. It's the way it is.
Reach.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I miss the old days when it was just hookers.
All right. I'm
Not like that anymore.
all right. I'm gonna pick somebody.
Wow.
I'm gonna just pick somebody. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Say goodbye. Oh, gee, I picked you.
I
Okay.
didn't do
Got
it.
a crush on you, Jay.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
you're a musician. Okay,
Woo-hoo.
musician. Yes.
I'm a drummer, so, technically we're not considered musicians, but I am.
Well, they say other stuff too, but we won't get into that.
That's
What
okay, I can
what
take
what
it.
what possessed you?
To play drums?
Yes.
Actually, I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I was in my living room watching MTV. Sorry, this wire is annoying. I was watching MTV, and I saw Crimson and Clover by Joan Jett.
I
And then
love
right
that
after
song.
that, I saw Our Lips Are Sealed by the Go-Go's. And I just felt like I wanted to do that. And it wasn't because I wanted to be famous. I just felt, honestly, I was like, wow, girls could do this, and this is really cool, and I could play an instrument. And I found a class in a like a penny saver that was a Saturday morning class that said drums. And I told my parents, I said, hey, I think I want to do this. And they were like, okay. And it was kind of history from there. But I was the only chick in the class
Right.
back in 19 or something, early 80s.
Right.
And it's nice to see how the industry has changed a lot as far as like, the female thing and becoming more accepted. And honestly, Joan Jett and the Go-Go's were, to name a few, or
Yeah.
one
The
of first to
Runaways.
do that, but absolutely.
Runaways.
Absolutely.
I was so into
Yep,
Runaways at the time.
absolutely.
Me and my little friends on the block, we were into Kiss and the Runaways and David Bowie. We're all David Bowie freaks.
Oh, Bowie's
Um,
awesome.
Whoa.
I used to, if you read my story on Twitch, I used to be a professional subway musician. I was the guy that used to get on the train with you and start jamming. Okay.
Nice.
And I used to do a lot of Bowie. And I have trouble doing Bowie songs now because I cry.
Oh,
Because I'm so upset that he died. But
he was great.
yeah.
He was great.
But the Runaways were like a girl band. It's about freaking time. There's
yeah.
there's a couple of outfits running around that have prominent girl figures in their lineup. Let me put everybody back the way it's supposed to be. There we go. Figures running around right now. Okay, one of them being the Freya Collective with Heather Dawson. And actually, I was speaking to a member of the Freya Collective yesterday. He's a friend of mine. And I told him, I spoke to Paul Terra on the phone. And he said, could you tell if he was standing still or not? And I laughed because I had spoken to Paul. And the first thing he said is, I'm a very busy guy. I'm in like every band on the planet. Okay. It's okay to laugh, Paul.
I am.
Oh, okay. That's your laugh? Okay, good. So I remember, and I've made this speech a lot. Right before the pandemic hit, you remember the day they closed all the bars?
Yeah.
The Friday before at
The motto
Revolution.
of the day the music died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
pretty
Friday
much.
right before that, Revolutions had Gina Catillo
Mm-hmm.
and the Freya Collective on the same bill, which are two of my favorite girl singers. And I couldn't get somebody to give me a lift to go to the show. And I was dying to see it because they're two of my favorites. I would have stopped at the florist. I would have bought flowers. I would have been I would have put on my clergy shirt. I would have made them come over and give me hugs and everything. It would have been great. You know, I'm a Sicilian. We're very touchy-feely people. You know, we kiss people and hug
I'm
people.
Italian too.
You know, so you know how it is, right? And I couldn't get, and I've been kicking myself in the ass ever since because nobody's doing any shows. And but I do mention a lot when I play their music that, you know, ever since the Runaways, I totally dig it when female artists come out of nowhere, out of left field. It was like all happened in 2019 and totally make the scene.
Mm-hmm.
I heard
there's some really good female fronted bands that have been coming out in the past year or two.
Yes.
Reckless.
Yes. The way it used to be where people used to think differently about female musicians, that's a thing of the past. You don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I think a female could bring stuff to the table with a sensibility that you wouldn't necessarily get from a male musician. Because after all, we are talking about somebody who's a totally different gender than you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's going to be.
Always did it for me like that.
Huh?
My experience playing with
Bill, what is?
Harvey always did that.
PJ Harvey's great.
My
experience playing with Gina, we only had a problem at one show. Me and Gina were filling in for a Thanksgiving show.
Right.
And some drunken asshole made the mistake of saying to Gina, "Hey, you're pretty good for a girl."
That's stupid.
Well, before Gina could get up and smack him, I did. So
yeah.
Gina was right behind me, ready to. You know?
Yeah. You know, it's a funny thing. Funny thing about Gina, I'm not going to say anything about somebody else that might be named Gina. Okay, but when I was trying to line up an interview with Gina Catillo, and I had already lined up the Terror Garden interview, so somehow I ended up in somewhere where Mike answered me because I was like, could somebody please ask Gina if I could interview her, thinking that I was in her messenger. And he was like, what are you talking about? And I don't realize that there's a name that matches in there. So there was confusion as to what window I was in. Yeah. So, you know, we're on the internet. We all have contact with like millions and trillions of people and whatnot. So, Mike.
Bound to happen.
Mike?
Yeah.
Are you there? Is your mic on?
Mike left.
Yeah, Mike left the building. This is now the Mike show. So, Mike, what happened? What negative thing happened to your mind to make you a musician?
Well, my parents are very musical, have a very musical family. So I've always grown up with a lot of different rock music playing around the house. And of course, you know, being a 90s kid, all the MTV and radio, everything, all the rock that was played during that. And during like my teenage years, I had a couple bands. I actually played like drums and keyboards, not very well, but they were just whatever. Not very serious bands. And then I started taking up guitar probably about 20 years ago and just kept at it. I've been in a few different bands here and there.
Yeah.
And I joined Terror Garden probably 3.5 years ago now. So it's been a while. And happy to be here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, the guitarist, Mike DeGrucci.
That's my mind.
Now, since his connection seems to be working, your mojo's working, Bill.
What's up, brother?
What is up? Tell me about your becoming a bassist story.
Awesome, man. Like right now, my camera's frozen, like Anna and Elsa. I don't see. I hope you see me.
I see you. I see you moving. I hear. It matches your lips and everything. Don't worry. Just talk.
Okay, cool. My genre is a little different. I had my high chair pulled up to that show, Hee Haw.
Yes.
It used to come on after
I remember
Benny Hill, and we would watch Benny Hill and Hee Haw. My granddad was a banjo player, and he passed on, and he left the records, and he was like big into Earl Scruggs, and my brothers and I used to take the banjo and tune it and play the banjo to Earl Scruggs, but on the slow speed of the record. And then when he got good, the middle speed, tuned it up. Then we got good to the high speed and tuned it up. And then I love punk rock. Then I wanted to learn the guitar. And guys that wanted to learn the banjo says, I'll pay you to show me the banjo. I said, how about I'll show you banjo and bartered it. You show me the guitar. And then we bartered it and started playing guitar. That's how I started playing guitar. Then I played in a classical quartet. So I had that right hand down good, how to do that arpeggiating good from doing the banjo a lot. Then I still play slide guitar, like I tune it instead of EAD, GBE, I go DAD, F sharp, AD. So it's a chord, and I still put the banjo, the picks on my hand. So I had my right hand like good. Then I just always played bass, and I liked it. So these guys needed a second guitar player. And I applied for that spot. They had another guy on bass, Cliff. Then they were like, yeah. I was like, I wanted to get on the guitar. Then they said, well, go on the bass first, because we didn't have a bass player. So then I went on the bass, and I liked it. And that's how I got the spot.
Cool. And now,
And now look at us.
look at you guys now. And
We're a big happy family.
yeah.
But,
And Paul, yeah.
Sorry, I
It's
just
all right.
want to obviously mention, I'm sure at some point we would have, but on Keep It Real, we did have two other members that were in the band for a very long time that played their asses off and did a great job. Johnny Wildchild and Tony, obviously, who was in the chat. So we just wanted to say that.
Yeah, he just sent a very nice message. I'll put it up again.
And somebody said they love my drumming. I appreciate it. Thank you.
That was Metal Shocker. Metal Shocker 48.
I think he was asking a couple questions too.
Yeah.
He's got. I'm gonna put the questions back up. Oh, this is a good one. Do you all have a favorite song off Keep It Real? But you gotta only name one, and why it's your favorite song.
Mine is "I Don't Care," which you opened the show with. I just think it has a killer heavy groove to it. Love the lyrics and the melodies that Paul came up with. I think the solos Johnny and I did came out great. And it's just love it. It's a really great song.
What about you, Paul? We lost Wild Bill.
That's a tough
Mine's
one.
Rise.
I would have to say You Can't Sing for Shit.
Now I'm sorry I don't have that one. Damn.
Well,
Quite
okay.
Mike, you said yours is Rise?
Oh, that was Bill.
GoFundMe, I'd have to say.
Yeah, go fund yourself.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's Go Fund Yourself Now.
That sounds great.
Nice.
Millions of people donate to GoFundMe accounts, but how do you know your money is really going to someone in need?
What you're being accused of is despicable. Did you intentionally injure your dog so that you could raise money from a GoFundMe site? You raised over $14,000 on a
Seamus, you here?
GoFundMe site. What did you do with the money?
I think we lost.
You want to
My
explain
screen's
yourself?
frozen.
I can't see you.
Oh, gee, look at this. Nope, wrong one. There you go.
Tony.
Watch out
That's our old bass
and
player.
beware.
Tony.
Some crazy things
On
are
this,
going on out there.
Yeah.
Who do you trust?
Tony getting a little fresh on the Reverend Matty F show.
Who's full of it? Who's really in need?
The return of Wild Bill.
So take your trust away from man. Steal the cash right out of your hand. It's really sad for It's everywhere. It's who knows who on television and Facebook too. Vacation lying in the sand. Take a trip, go to Disneyland. The benefits and the things you do. There's a special place in hell for you. What kind of person life I've disease? So desperate, so full of greed.
You see it, Mike?
Wow, nice. It's pretty cool.
It's a cutaway. It's a cut down gem.
Yeah, my gem has like the holder.
You see the tail? That's all cut off.
I don't think he can hear
Yes, Paul.
you. I hear you.
My buddy Joe DiSpaglio is the one who invented the gem.
I can't hear you. You got to speak up. Really get on that mic.
My friend Joe DiSpaglio is the one who invented gem guitars.
Oh, cool.
I used to watch him make them in his bathroom at his house in Cold Lake. He used to take the guitars and dip them in the bathtub.
Wow.
Plenty of gem boys. Sitting there with him and Steve Vai on his
Yeah.
house.
I've never owned an actual Ibanez gem. But they got some kind of contract with Ibanez. Now Traveler is making, and it's sort of a travel size version. The neck is complete. The neck is totally full scale.
That's cool.
Yeah.
More questions are coming in. We'll answer that after the song.
You guys can see it. Question from Metal Shocker 48. All right.
The Reverend Matty F Show. Live from Studio M in beautiful downtown Queens, New York.
All right, let's answer that question for Metal Shocker 48. Whoever wants to.
Well, like I said before, the concerts are pretty rare and in between right now. We're playing sparingly every couple weeks or so, but we're just starting to form some skeletons of some new ideas. So it's still extremely early in the writing process, but it's going.
All right.
Well, the whole thing is with shows right now, there aren't any. And now that winter's coming, nobody's really going to be playing outside. What they're doing here on Long Island with the couple of clubs that are opened is for you to go to a show, you need to pick up the phone, call the club, make a reservation, put a deposit anywhere from $25 to $40 down. Go there, have to be forced to eat food. Then it's gonna run you about $100. And once you're there and you're stuck sitting in your seat, you can't get up and dance. You can't go to the other side of the room to say hello to your friends. So basically, it's like being on an airplane. You're stuck in your seat. So we're really anticipating and waiting for this virus thing to break so we can get back to business as usual. Because it's getting cold out now. Nobody's going to be doing the backyard parties in 10, 20 degrees. And also the clubs. You can't be outside with that, where the clubs are only allowed 25 to 50% capacity at the moment. So we're hoping that once this election's over, once this somewhat cure is available, that things will go back to normal so we could get out there. As far as new material, we have a new member. We've been auditioning second guitarist at the moment so we could have more influx of ideas, because mostly it's Mike and myself or me. We come up with ideas. And Gina, I've been working with Gina for 10 years. You could throw anything at Gina and she'll just like bounce back with an idea. And now that we got Bill in the band.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Paul. Excuse me. Wild Bill. It's Wild Bill.
Yes. Since, we got Bill in, our other bass player, Tony, who is phenomenal, he'd have ideas, but Bill is a totally different style player. So, and he has ideas of what he would like to do. So between the four of us, I'm really looking forward to the new music we're going to come up with.
Yeah, like the four of us, we all like a lot of the same bands and genres, but we have very different songwriting styles. So diversity is never a problem with us. That's for sure.
It's great.
For better or worse. Yeah.
Yes. It's great.
Anything else? We got anything else from the viewers? Okay. Shut up and buy me a drink.
Yes.
Classic.
I think I'll pour myself one.
Great.
Cheers.
Yeah.
It cost me $20 to get in here, and there ain't nothing going on. It's like a sausage fest filled with beer. I won't get late tonight for sure.
Thank you, Del Thomas.
Shut up and buy me a drink. Give me liquor, make it quicker. Shut up and buy me a drink. I need a shot tonight. Yeah. Reality is just a state of mind. If
Yummy.
my mind is gone away, you got yours, I got mine. You don't suck, so go away.
Yeah.
Shut up and buy me a drink.
That's not good.
Give me liquor, make it quicker.
Not for me, but
And buy me a drink. I need a shot tonight.
Dear God, it's Sydney Faith AMG on the Reverend Matty F Show.
It cost me $20 to get in here, and there ain't nothing going on. It's like a sausage fest filled with beer. I won't get late tonight for
thank you,
sure.
Cindy.
Shut up
That's awesome.
and buy me a drink. Give me liquor, make it quicker. Shut up and buy
I
me
think Metal Shock sent us another question.
a shot tonight.
This guy needs to get like a guy or girl needs to get like a free t-shirt or something. You know, seriously.
Shut up and buy me a drink. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up and buy me a drink.
The Reverend Matty F Show.
Shut up. Shut up.
Shut Up and Buy Me a Drink by Terra Garden on the Reverend Matty F Show.
Yeah.
Live from Studio M in beautiful downtown Queens, New York.
There you have it. All right. Bill, what are you doing to yourself over there? Bill? Bill, what are you doing, man?
Cracking a beer and drinking it.
All right, that's the way to go. The answer could have been way worse.
What else could I be doing?
I don't know. Hiding in the corner like that. I don't know.
Say hi.
I think we got another question from Metal Shocker.
I'm gonna take a look.
Piling them in, yeah.
You know, I'm managing. We have a question being. Oh, we have a message being directed at Metal Shocker.
Oh, it looks like Tony
All right.
stepped in for us, but I'm not sure what the question was.
I'm going to try to find the question. I don't
Mike
even.
would know. Uh-oh.
I don't
All right.
see. I don't see the question.
No pressure.
Mike, it's your fault, Mike.
Is that
Oh, I
Axel?
got to tell you.
Axel
Axel.
Puppy?
I got to tell you.
Aw.
If I play 10 of your songs in a stream,
Be shy.
I get 10 copyright claims on my YouTube account.
We won't sue you, I promise.
Well, I know, but you know, I did their dispute thing to
Yeah.
dispute it, and despite the fact that I had permission directly from Paul to play all these songs, they don't care. They denied me anyway.
Oh, man.
Really?
Yeah.
So how long has the Keep It Real album been in the making? Huh. And how come Twilight Zone was CD only? There's a lot of different answers for that first one. So
How long has it been?
So Keep It Real from scratch to release
About
took
a
about
decade.
no, thankfully not. No, I would have quit. I would be out. It took 2 years. A lot of different things happened, a lot of different reasons why it didn't come out earlier, but I think
Which one are you gonna give them?
I don't know.
But, yeah.
Which reason are you gonna give them?
Well, it took some time to write the stuff. We were touring. We had some lineup changes, COVID. You can go on and on, but I think everything worked out for a reason with how and when it got released. So we just dropped it in early September. And how come Twilight Zone was a CD-only thing? Well, we had to get the publishing rights for the song. We got the mechanical rights for the CD. We didn't go for the digital rights. It was just getting too confusing.
We had
So-
to pay for the publishing rights
Yeah.
on the CD.
Yeah,
That-
and
We did it the
You gotta
right way.
pay for that. You gotta pay for that, kids. You
and
gotta
it also
pay.
gives more incentive for people to get the physical copy too. I think I'm still old school. I like to collect CDs still.
Me too.
Well, that's okay. That's not a bad thing.
I still have a CD player in my car.
So
I have
Twilight,
to put one in.
so
I still
Twilight
play
Zone.
cassette. I even play cassette still over here.
Cassettes. Nice. So
Nice.
yeah, Twilight Zone is the bonus track on the physical CD. And if you want to get the digital version, it's on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, all that stuff. You can just look on our Facebook page.
We
Nice.
we put a question on our Facebook page of what cover song you would like for us to put on the CD. And after about 2 weeks, it came out to Twilight Zone 1. It was that, Hell is for Children by Pat Benatar,
Yep.
which we also do in our set sometimes.
Yep.
And what else, Mike?
Had I known about that, I would have asked for cold gin.
It's a good song.
I would have asked for cold gin.
Those were definitely the top two, but we all
Yeah.
picked. I picked. I had the Eagles, those shoes, and AC/DC. What's next to the moon? Those are my two. I think
forgot
G,
what
you picked Billy Joel Pressure, which would have been
Yes.
very interesting.
I really want to do that.
I think Johnny picked UFO or something, from what I remember.
Yeah, that's right. Johnny picked UFO, Tony picked
Pressure.
the Benatar, and I picked the Twilight.
Yeah, so we each had like two favorites. It came down to 10. We left it up to the fans, and that's what they wanted us to cover, and we did it.
how we recorded that. Yeah.
Wow.
Thanks.
Creative process. Do you how does stuff come together? Do you need a lyric first?
No.
Do you need music first?
Sometimes.
Does it happen either
Sometimes
way
they
depending
both
on
come-
the song?
Sometimes they both come at the same time. Like Learn How to Drive. The car next to me, the rhythm.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
Learn how to drive. Learn how to drive.
Right,
And
right.
that's how I got the idea for that. And then I brought it to rehearsal. And this demon on the drums and this other psycho on the guitar jumped on it. And that's how the song was created.
Huh.
Yeah,
How have you guys-
Learn How to Drive came together in like a half hour. And
How-
other songs.
Isn't it great when something just falls into place like that?
Other
It doesn't
other
always
songs have
happen.
Other songs have taken weeks.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you never know why it turns out that way. It just does.
Yeah.
I like to keep it simple. I like to be like an AC/DC cult meat and potato type band.
I'm absolutely the same way. And a thing.
Talking to a guy who's like the biggest Deep Purple fanatic, so it's like two different aspects.
Oh, I'm very into Purple.
You know?
Have any of you heard the Whitesnake album, the Purple album?
Yes.
It is insane. I got it a couple of years ago when it came out, and I still think that album is insane.
It is.
David Coverdale was so good.
He was.
That was one good mark of Deep Purple. Though Mark II was hard to beat.
Oh yeah, you couldn't
Deep
beat
Purple
it.
Mark II was like a band that was like literally on fire.
How are you gonna beat Smoke on the Water?
It's
player when you walk into Sam Asher Guitar Center. That's
Yeah.
just learning how to play.
The first song.
it's the first thing every guitarist plays.
Mhm.
Even kids that are too young to like Deep Purple, it's still the first thing that they
Yeah,
play.
right.
You know, but
It is.
yeah, it's interesting that you should mention being a Deep Purple head. Me, I need a lyric first. Everything comes from the lyric.
Really?
I write the lyric, and it has to have a title. You know, sometimes you write a lyric and you don't have a title for it. It has to have a title, and once I have the title, I'll sit there and I'll read it over and over and over and over again, and eventually I start to hear what's supposed to happen in my head. And then I basically coax it out of myself, and that's how I write songs.
That's one aspect. And then
Yeah.
on the other hand, I had Mike, hey, I got a couple of ideas. Oh, yeah? What do you got? Here's 38 ideas. Oh.
Yeah.
With like 38 riffs, and some of them were like songs and this and that. And I listened to every single one. I sat there. I was like,
Awesome.
damn, work with that. Damn, I could crush that.
Yeah.
Damn, that sounds good.
What about?
And then added other riffs from here. That's how a lot of stuff came together for this CD.
Yeah. But what about rehearsing in the pandemic age? How do you guys do that? You just put on your masks and just like go to the studio?
We go to a secret location we're not allowed to disclose.
Oh, you practice at Dare? What a shithole.
When I auditioned
love
for
the
the
guys
band,
up there.
yeah.
I love the guys at Dare, but I can't be singing out of a mixing board that
From
was used on
1960,
Portland's
yeah.
tour. That was
Yeah.
used on Portland's tour. In
I used to drive all the way the hell out there, and the equipment didn't work. It was terrible.
That's where my first Terror Garden audition was.
And then
there
there was-
probably first and
Really?
last.
Yeah.
Yeah, first and last time. I think.
You know that parking lot. You know that little parking lot around back.
You were there.
You know that little strip mall like parking lot that they have back there with the gravel.
Oh yes.
A couple of doors down, there was like somebody doing some textile work, like a little factory environment, and they tried to steal my car. I came out and found out they tried to break into my car. I was like, screw that, I'm not doing this anymore.
That's really
We were
funny.
doing ZZ Top covers. I was like, I quit. I'm done.
Good old Dare.
Metalcore, you are Metal Shocker. You are a real participant this
Yeah, I'm
evening.
telling you.
Yes. What's your real identity? Who are you?
Yeah.
It might be somebody we all know.
Was there any inspiration to close the album? Well, I guess the digital album with "Always in My Heart." Great closing. Thank you very much. It just felt right It felt right to close. You know, put the album, put that song towards the end. It was a complete departure in left field for us to do a complete acoustic, stripped down ballad. No distortion, no over the top effects, and that's actually the last song we wrote on the album, and it was a combination of ideas that Paul had in his bands from years ago, and me, Johnny, and Tony at the time worked really hard on the intro parts, and it just all came together, and that's it's one of my favorites on the record because it's so different, and I don't think there's not a lot of hard rock metal bands out there doing complete acoustic songs, so I think it makes us stand out in a good way.
Bill, what's your part of the creative process?
He hasn't done created yet.
I don't have one. I just like what mood I'm in that day. That's what you're getting. It could be different.
Okay.
Like I don't know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting. I'm just picking up. I put my shoes at the door, and I let go of I let go of this physical body, and I just let it happen by itself. And I don't even know how to describe how to do that. I don't have a process. I just have a mind frame where I just let go and I let God, and I just become whatever I am at that time.
Okay, well, you know, it's good to have a free spirit in a band, because sometimes the free spirit could be like the tiebreaker when it comes to, like, I want to do it this way and I want to do it that way, you know. And then there was the time. There was time. I
write whole songs. I write lyrics too, and sometimes I got the words first. Sometimes I got the music first.
Yeah.
In this particular case, I just been throwing riffs in there, but they've been on slide guitar mostly, and I just I took a little bit. I had to learn all their stuff.
Wow.
Now I'm really psyched that we could start writing stuff. Like they had 3 albums out. I had to learn every song like they're mine. And for me, if I play a song 15 times, I know it like memorized, you know?
I hear you. You know, guys, how do the auditions go? Do you when you're auditioning for members, are there any like really funny stories about how the auditions go?
Paul and G would be best to answer that one, I think.
Well, you know what? I picked G. All right, G, let's have it.
You know, it's been a minute since we just started to audition second guitar players now, but the last person before that, aside from Wild Bill, which I know him as Seamus, which is a whole other story, but was Mike, and we've been pretty lucky with having members in this band for a long time, you know.
Yeah, but are the auditions difficult?
The bassist in between, Cliff.
Cliff, yeah. Cliff,
And
for a hot minute.
that was really it, you know. Yeah, Cliff is great. Cliff was a great player, great guy. So
I think Bill had a little too much to drink and he fell out of his chair.
he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
What do you think is the shortest audition that you've had for any member?
We had a bassist audition back.
Mike, yeah.
We had a bassist audition back in December that lasted no practice. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
I had to pinch my mind out.
We were looking for a drummer back in 2015. Back in 2015, we were looking for a drummer, and because we had Bill.
I'll put that up next time.
Bill. We fired our drummer because he was awful. Okay. And so we put an ad out there. I think we did it on the back page in the Village Voice, or the back page's paper, or whatever it was, and on Craigslist. And a guy comes for the audition. We were at the music building on 31st Street. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows about that building, right? We're in the music building. We're in the studio, and we have 2 auditions that day. and we're waiting for the band that's currently in the room to be finished so we could go in and plug in and blah, 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 and start doing our auditions. So I'm sitting in a chair out where the soda machine is, and a guy comes in and asks me if I'm the Reverend Matty F. And I said, yes, my son, I am the Reverend Matty F. No, I didn't say that to him, but I said, yeah, my name is Matt. Sit down. So he sits down next to me, and I said, what's your name? And he tells me his name. It tells me he's there to audition for the drumming position. And so I'm sitting there, and I forget what I was reading. I think it was Ace Frehley's new book, the book No Regrets. I was reading No Regrets at the time, so I brought it with me. And the guy turns around and said, what happened to your last drummer? I watched some of the videos, and I thought he was great. And in my head, I was like, this guy's not going to last long in his audition. Okay. So we go in, but he's not the first audition. We get one guy. I went walking around the studio, to hear, listening through the door at all the rehearsal rooms, and I found this guy practicing solo by himself on drums, and he sounded really good. So I brought him. I opened the door. I told him who I was, and everything, and I said, "Would you come and jam with us?" And he was like, "Okay, I could use some refreshing improvisation." So he comes in. We sit him down, and I'm telling him about the song. I say, "Okay, this one has like a Highway Star kind of feel," and that was all I had to tell this guy. And he aced every single freaking song, right? So he said, his name was Mitch. Okay, Mitch, go sit out by the soda machine. I'm going to come out and talk to you, right? So then in comes this other guy, and we was so sick of interviewing drummers. This was like the 10th person. This is the guy that I was talking to out by the soda machine. So my friend Paul took to using a stopwatch to see how long the person lasted.
That's pretty cool.
The guy lasted this. So we told him this has like a Highway Star kind of feel, and just count us in with 4. He couldn't do the count-in. So I was like, okay, this is for real. Count us in, and we got to get through the song from front to back. I sent it to you a week ago. If you couldn't learn this song in like 20 minutes, front to back, then this isn't for you. Okay? He lasted. So check it out. Dude lasted 11 seconds. 11 seconds.
You could count to 4 then.
We was like, what? Our singer, who was kind of nuts, but we loved him anyway. He turned around and said, "Dude, put your guitar back in the case and get out, because the fat man is going to kill you." So he left. And this is how the auditions went. And then shortly after that, I had my incident, and I can't really gig anymore. I can't even get out of the house by myself. So I had my incident, and we disbanded everything. But some of the auditions were just... We had one guy that came in who had never heard of Jimi Hendrix.
Like ever?
I didn't think that was possible.
The guy did not recollect ever hearing of a guy named Jimi Hendrix. I was like, what color is the sky on your planet? And why is it brown?
That's what happens when you audition people from Freeport.
Oh my God. I don't think he was from Freeport. Though I get what you're saying. Do you remember back in the day you could go to the racetrack over in Freeport? And you'd watch the 3/4 midgets, and then you'd watch the stock cars, and then they'd have the rear end demolition derby.
Yeah,
and they would bring you awesome food. You could like buy fried chicken in the stands, corn on the cob. It was a great night, and they would bring you beer until you died from it. But that's really something. Check this out. This is called Crazy Days. It's on the Reverend Matty F show, and not on your show, bitches.
Get it?
Looks like Tony said he was the shortest edition. He didn't have
one. He just showed up one day. It didn't go away. They love
it. Anthony says this.
Thank you. I think Metal Shock has sent another question. He's like on fire.
I'm going there. I'm going to find him.
Yeah, Yeah, right?
I love it. I love it.
Okay, that's...
It's a good one.
I like to wear a guitar after I've had a few.
Who doesn't?
Get air drum.
Of the four songs that are off of Keep It Real, it's a combination of songs. These 4 new songs that I got from you guys this week. Some of them are from Keep It Real, and I think one of them is from Specimen Cup.
That's Crazy Days.
That's this one, right? This is the heaviest. This is very heavy. Do you tune down, Mike? Like to E flat?
Almost every song we have is in standard or drop D. The only song that's different is I Don't Care, we do drop D.
Really? You play that on a 7-string?
No, it's R drop D. It's standard
Oh.
tuning, we lower the bottom string.
Yeah. So for drop D, you're just dropping the top string? You know, I have a D tuner on here, and they suck. They're terrible. I even tried the other one from Tone Vice, the pitch shifter. I can't keep the damn guitar in tune. You know? This one came out pretty nice though. I bought this from FU Tone, and he upgraded everything in the cavity with brass and green springs. Oh, man after my own heart. Do not put out Reverend Matty F bait.
Those will kill you.
You could, I know,
They're so good though.
I know, but some days I get depressed.
My father still love those, so fine.
Ah, nice.
The sequel to that.
Nice. I'm gonna have I'm sorry.
That's my plan.
On October 31st.
And then go in the car.
Oh God.
You gotta take a picture of that.
On October 31st, I'm gonna have
Costume idea.
the Freya Collective on, and we're all gonna be in costumes.
Awesome.
On Halloween.
It's gonna be really sick.
That's cool.
They're on at
Halloween
7
night.
o'clock.
Halloween costume today.
The Kings County interview should be good too. You guys know about Kings County?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been very cool with me. Another big contributor. You guys contributed a lot of songs. Okay? So did Kings County, and so did the Freya Collective. The Freya Collective is very, very eclectic. And as a result, I must have 2 hours just of their stuff.
Wow.
You know? And it runs the gamut from a song about Stockholm Syndrome to a song about the Lincolnshire Poacher. You could Google that. The Lincolnshire Poacher. It was for people that were into shortwave radio back in the 90s. You used to find this lady. You'd go, across the dial and you'd tune in and find this lady reciting numbers. 1, 2, 5, 9, 6, 3, 4, 7, 9, 1. And it would go on for like a half hour. And the belief is that somewhere at the other end was a spy with like a one-time decryption pad that would decrypt the message and then destroy it. Because nobody could figure out what the hell the message ever was. And it was always different.
You sure it wasn't a retarded person trying to do lotto?
No, because it was in several languages. You would hear it in German, you would hear it in English, you would hear it in Chinese, you would hear it in Russian. Yeah. really crazy stuff. And the Frail Collective found a way to mix this into one of their musical compositions. Actual recording of the shortwave. You hear the static and everything.
Impressive.
Really,
That is pretty cool.
know. So we have them, and there was somebody that's up and coming now, Stoke the Fire. You might know them.
Yes. Yes.
They sent me a couple of songs, and do you guys know Jack Pipe?
Yeah.
Very
We're,
well.
we're very
They
good
sent
friends.
me. They sent me a bunch of songs, but I could only use like 3 of them because they're so vulgar.
Yeah, that's
but-
them. Though.
But yes, it is absolutely them. And when I put them,
Shout out to Larry.
yes, Larry, yes, I got to tell you, when I nail them down for an interview and I do their music, there's going to be a big, rated R thing on the screen and everything.
Don't
Because
expect to run.
have you heard the song "Welcome to New York"?
Yes.
It's hysterical. It's hysterical. Would you like to hear it, G?
Sure. You can play
Okay.
it.
I'm gonna bring it
Yeah,
out for you
loud.
right now. Oh yeah, I can. These are the ones that I could actually use.
It's rated G.
I heard Milkshake
PG.
the other day.
I know I can't play it, but here's "Welcome to New York" by Jack Pipe. Something a little different in the mix tonight. Here we go, Jack Pipe on the Reverend Matty F show. You haven't heard this yet, G? You're not
Nope.
squeamish, right?
No, depends. But no.
Okay.
I'll listen.
Welcome to New York. Now go fuck yourself. Welcome to New York. Welcome to New York.
You could play this in some drop D.
Yeah, it's pretty low.
Lower than that. Kind of reminds me of Biohazard a lot.
No, they have a pretty heavy sound. Do you have a bulldog?
It's a red nose dog.
Oh,
Terrier. Yeah.
is it a pit bull?
He looks like a pit bull.
Ah, look at this.
He looks like a kitty, right?
It matches your cat and your tapestry.
There he is.
Look at the snoot. Look at the snoot.
We'll get a pit bull next.
It's $5 grand a month for a bedroom. The winter's so cold you can't feel your face. The summer air thick as molasses, and the rats, not just the rat race. Mass transit smells like a butthole, and the garbage lined all down the streets. The sidewalks, so many people. A week's salary just for something to eat.
No, I know that.
New York.
Yeah.
Now go
I
fuck
haven't heard their new
yourself.
stuff.
Welcome to New York.
The pigs played with them a whole mess of time.
Welcome to New York.
No, they're fun.
Yourself.
They're fun guys.
Welcome to New
And I'll tell you what I especially like about their songs when this is over.
Every day, just like clockwork. All the lemmings come to make a new start. On the buses and on the planes, to the Big Apple with hope in their hearts.
Tommy, you're still with me, man.
Crush like an insect.
Yes, I think you are.
That cuts like a knife. But they do it, cause they love it. Come to New York for the glamorous life. Welcome to New York. Now go fuck yourself. Welcome to New York.
It has that New York hardcore kind of vibe to it.
Welcome to New York. Go eat a bag of dicks. Welcome to New York.
I love their songs because they're all like 4-minute statements. 3.5, 4 minutes. That's what you need for a rock tune. You know? Sometimes you got to get a rock tune over with. You know? It's about audience psychology. You know? Different people believe differently about it. You know, it's heavy, and it's in a way kind of simplistic, but it's also very hardcore, and it's brutal. Their riffs are very brutal.
Kind of reminds me of like Biohazard, Suicidal. Mix,
Yeah.
like that.
And it's clean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it's not clean, but it has an easiness to it. It's not too busy. It's just a clean, easy bob over the plate. Good.
It gets you there, and sometimes the lyrics are funny. Sometimes the lyrics are kind of like. Sometimes the lyrics are kind of like, wow, that's a bit over the top, you know. But it's some of them are just funny. You know, take me to the buffet, Inch of My Love.
I know that one.
You know, I play Inch of My Love also because the idea is kind of adult, but it's not really an offensive song. Okay.
Kind of like the Mentors.
Yeah, this one's not offensive either.
James rocks.
Put me on the guest list by Terror Garden on the Reverend Matty F Show from Studio M. And there she goes. I've been waiting for this.
Air drums.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the G Show.
You are killing it.
Watch as she plays air drums for you.
Remember that movie, The Rocker?
Yes.
Yeah.
That almost reminds me of for a minute.
Yes, you would make me in the basement of the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, no, that would not be good.
Wait a minute. Bill, what's the matter?
Frozen.
Everything's awesome.
How he's good.
Oh, he's good now. Bill, what's the matter, man?
Jack shit. Everything's tip top over here.
You feeling all right over there, Paul? Yeah, he's doing good. Look at him. Paul's doing good. Mike's doing good too. He keeps the syringe underneath his seat.
I think we have another animal that wants to say hi. Hey, little boy. No?
Gee,
Yes.
I noticed you're wearing a Motley Crue shirt. Okay.
Yes.
Don't you think that Mick Mars was a totally underrated guitarist?
He absolutely was an underrated guitarist.
I thought he was a beast.
He's amazing. He's been underrated since the beginning of that band, and he's still
Yes. Probably the most underrated member. And I'll tell you, you don't realize it until you watch them live.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Jeff Beck. I can't stand any of Jeff Beck's studio work, but when he plays live, it's like some kind of magic happens.
Yeah. No, Motley Crue. They can do no wrong.
When Beck plays live, Jeff Beck, something happens that's not like the studio albums.
Yeah, he's better. I've never seen Jeff Beck, but I feel like he would be better in person.
Mr. Terra, excuse me, Mr. Terra, there's no passing out on the Reverend Matty F Show. Okay? We don't do the passing out. All right?
Got all these questions from Metal Doctor again.
Okay.
Can't keep up.
All right, I'm getting there.
One was like our influences, that.
Okay. Let's talk about the influences first, okay? We'll hit the influences and then we'll tackle this one about how challenging does it get to record or make your own music and put it out. All right, but let's go. I saw that question too and I put it up and we didn't answer it. Well, that's because we're all under the influence of all kinds of alcohol and substances. And look at Bill. Bill's like ready. Are you going to throw up? Oh, no, he's good. He's good. This dog, does the dog have blue eyes or is it the camera?
No, he looks kind of way, but he has the green, like the light green. Yeah, he's got those light green eyes.
See, I
Okay,
can respect a person that digs animals.
I got 7 cats, a dog, and a guinea pig.
Really? How does the guinea pig get along with the cats?
If he's in the cage, they're okay. If he's loose, we gotta kind of like keep him in a fence. But they're kind of just more curious about him. And he's pretty cool. He kind of just looks at him.
So, 7 cats, right?
Yeah.
So you realize, based on the psychology of cats, we have 3 cats because we live in a tiny apartment. Based on the psychology of cats, one of them's got to be the alpha.
Yes.
Who's the alpha? Is it a
Yeah.
male or a female? Is it the oldest or the youngest?
Actually, it's not the oldest. It used to be, but it's a male, and his name is Nibbles.
Nibbles.
Nibbles, yes.
And he's the boss of everybody else.
He kind of tries to be, yeah. Yeah, he's 5, so.
How hectic is it when you got to feed them?
Oh, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Me and my girlfriend have a good time.
All right,
So,
okay.
Yeah.
It's cool,
There's a
'cause-
whole bunch of plates like laid out, and they're all meowing and barking. It's fun.
Yeah, because we've got 3 that pick their own eating schedules. One of them likes breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay.
All right. Another one likes to eat during the night when nobody's looking, so we leave out dry food for her. She's the alpha. She's 13 years old. Okay.
That's great.
And then we have one that's very small that I rescued. I found her in the street dying out in front of the house. Who eats on a schedule so sporadic that we have no idea. But we never have all 3 cats,
At the same time.
running into the kitchen because it's feeding time. But I got,
yeah.
I got. Are they all like spayed and neutered and everything?
Yes. There's 2 boys that they're young, so money, but they're gonna be
Yeah.
very shortly. So yes, they're all.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the response. It's the response. Oh, we got another dog. That's the responsible thing to do. I totally relate to animal people. Okay, here we have. Here we have, and what species? What breed is this? This guy.
This is a
New
dog.
York.
This isn't a dog. This is my alien companion.
Oh, okay. Is it some kind of terrier?
Looks like a Yorkie or Morkie mix.
Like a really big Yorkie, right?
Something like that.
Very cute. And he does kind of look alien with the hair sticking up and everything.
There goes the timer.
Oh, that hurts.
We
What?
use that as a timer. It's the smoke alarm.
Oh.
That's awesome.
I'm trying.
Okay. Did we get on? Let's get on the musical influences.
Damn, dude.
Seamus, you alright?
Whose smoke alarm is that?
Is anything on fire? What is happening?
Paul's gonna lose his shit.
It was coming from Wild Bill's house. It's coming from Wild Bill. Oh my God, he's cooking. We do not do cooking on the Reverend Matty F show.
Love it.
Damn, there's always something cooking.
Don't
Oh,
you
here
burn
go.
your house down on my show because I will find
Yeah,
you.
man,
I will
I'm
send.
trying not
I will
to.
stick Paul on a plane and he will come down and find your ass.
We use the smoke alarm as a timer.
Yeah. All right.
It's great.
Everybody. All right.
I ain't
Let's
shitting
let's
you. I
take
ain't
it.
kidding you.
Let's take a deep breath. Okay.
Look. You gotta look.
Let's take it. Somebody said your dog looks like an Ewok.
Oh,
Paul.
shit.
Deltomix thinks your dog looks like an Ewok.
What are you making?
All right.
All right, I had to mute his mic because that was really playing some havoc. But when you're done cooking, give us a thumbs up, okay?
Oh my god.
Paul, I want you to look at me, man. Slap yourself if you have to. Give yourself a good slap. Go ahead.
Stop laughing.
Slap. Come on, give yourself a good one.
Alarm goes off during the radio with the-
Hey man, you gotta eat. I'm starving. Oh,
That is some funny fucking shit, man.
Yeah,
That was
bitch.
great.
Did you bring enough for everybody?
that was great.
Okay.
That was great.
All right. Metal Shockers asked about your influences.
Hang on one. Give me a sec here.
Okay. Let's give Bill a sec. Everybody else talk about your influences. We already kind of got that from G. And we got who is that? Donna Summer. Is that Donna
There you
Summer?
go. Apparently, Bill. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Bill's influence. Donna Summer.
Well, that's easier to look at than Bill.
Oh, yeah, I gotta say though, Tommy Lee, for me, John Bottom, Tommy Lee, and obviously band-wise, you know.
Oh, I got to
those
tell
are
you,
the ones that-
when John Bonham died and they made the announcement, I was a machinist at the time at a company called Permag, which was on Karen Lane in Hicksville, right next door to Grumman. And we were in the shop, and I had to fill an order for 7,000 pole pieces for DiMarzio, who makes pickups. And Permag used to make magnetic parts. So I was operating a crush grinder at the time. And we used to have WLIR playing in the ceiling speakers. And they announced that Paul Bonham had died. And you heard all the machines get shut down.
Really?
The whole shop shut down. And like we was silent. And then somebody, and it was a Hispanic guy who we didn't even think knew about Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, it's good now, yeah.
Was like across the other side of the shop, and he fell to his knees and sobbed like a child.
Wow.
And I remember saying to myself, that's the end of Led Zeppelin. And that was the end of Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. So what other drummers influenced you? What about, did you ever hear of a guy named Mark O'Miniman?
I actually have not.
Or Marco Miniman?
No.
No.
He's one of these studio ace guys. He's got limb independence. Like he could play in 4 different time signatures with each of his limbs.
That's great.
Which is crazy. It's just
That's crazy.
you go to school for it, and they literally reprogram your brain.
Sounds like
I would
the
think
way,
so.
yeah.
Sounds like Danny Carey from Tool. Kind of
Yeah,
a
right.
similar.
And now, Mike, as one guitarist to another, let's have it. Who are the influences?
As far as like lead playing,
Playing.
Marty Friedman,
Uh-huh.
of Megadeth fame.
Right.
Eddie Van Halen, of course. Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm. Tragic loss.
Yeah. Dimebag Darrell of Pantera. Zakk Wylde. Kirk Hammett from Metallica. And then as far as like songwriting, Metallica's my favorite band. So like James Hetfield is one of them. John Schaefer of Iced Earth.
I can't say anything about Mark Hammett now. Go ahead. Kirk Hammett.
The list can go on and on, but those are the ones that kind of shaped my own style.
What year were you born, Mike?
1984.
Okay. All right. So I have to understand that Mike is very much younger than I. Now, let's get to Paul. Paul. Come on, Mr. Age Bracket. Who are your influences?
Who am I?
As a front person, who are your influential front men or front persons?
I have many, and I try to wrap them all into one. Everything from Johnny Rotten to Janis Joplin to Glenn Hughes to Ian Gillan to Dio to Jello Biafo. I have a lot. Joey Ramone.
Nobody ever says Paul Stanley.
Well, because he's really not that good of a singer.
Yeah, but as a front man, he's more of an actor.
Listen. Kiss, very good band, but let's call it and keep it real. Kiss didn't make it on their music; they made it on the show.
Yes, they did. They absolutely did. But I think it was something. It was something that the public needed at the time.
Well, you also have to remember there was disco at the time.
Yes,
So
the public needed something. Plus, the way bands were doing shows, back then is they were just standing around playing. Okay.
And that's how punk rock was invented.
Yeah.
Because of bands like Yes and ELP and stuff like that, where they had these 20-minute songs, and they were kind of boring and played out.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you got stuff like The Clash and the Ramones. And Sex Pistols. And
I saw them twice at CB's. I saw the Ramones.
I taught.
I'm a city boy.
I I toured with the Ramones for a couple of shows. My band.
Gee, you didn't mention Neil Peart.
Oh, he's amazing.
He was
Absolutely.
he was a phenomenon.
Amazing.
A freak.
He was,
Like there'll never be another drummer like him.
Never. No, he's in a class of his own for sure.
I think the first thing I ever heard by them, Rush I'm talking about, was Tom Sawyer. And I was like,
I think me too.
and I was like, listen to this guy on the drums.
Yep,
It's simplistic. It was simplistic, but his timing was so Swiss watch precise that it blew. Like you mentioned, Daryl Abbott, Mike.
Yep.
Okay, I was not into Pantera at all. I'm not into that. I'm not into that style of music at all. But I used to listen to them because I could appreciate the precision that he had. Between him and his brother on the drums, they used to practice together a lot, and there was an unheard of precision, even on goof songs like Cemetery Gates. You know, it was, and it was, yeah, and then back, I think it was in '09 when he got shot. I think it was. I was like, that's freaking tragic. I wasn't into the guy's music, but I used to just like to listen to him play.
Yeah.
Horrible.
You know, plus he was a fellow Kiss Army soldier.
Oh yeah.
Okay, he was totally into Kiss, which kind of amazes me because his playing was nothing like any kind of Kiss influence or anything like that.
In the '80s, they had more of a glam
Yes.
metal style.
Yeah.
That was definitely more Kiss than what they turned into.
Have you always been able to get a hold of Guitar Player? Do you read Guitar Player?
Yeah, I've checked out some magazines here.
Dude, I'm from a time before there was Guitar Player.
Yeah.
All we had was there was a magazine called Cream.
Yep.
And another one called Circus.
Yeah. So.
And it had nothing to do really with guitarists, and there was no internet, so it was very difficult to learn how to play things. Now you can go on YouTube and learn how to play any freaking thing you want because there's somebody out there teaching it. Like, did you know, Mike, that everyone plays Smoke on the Water wrong?
I'm sure this.
Everyone plays it wrong, and Richie Blackmore has finally spoken up about it, and everybody just plays it wrong. You play the riff with your fingers. You pinch the two strings instead of picking them.
Yeah.
That's why he sounds like Richie Blackmore, and we don't.
We don't. Yeah.
Yes. You know, so there's a lot there. And Paul, I just got to ask. Now, I'm not criticizing Paul. I think Paul has fallen down and can't get up. Do you have one of those pendants?
Learn how to use a vacuum cleaner.
Do you have one of those pendants that you could push it and people come and help you? You know, like a life alert or something. Paul, I want to know why Paul didn't mention Freddie Mercury as a frontman.
He's back.
There he is. There he is, and looking gorgeous as ever. You look great, Paul. You know, what about Freddie Mercury?
Freddie was phenomenal.
Forget being a singer, just as the guy out front.
Yeah,
he was
great.
He was like, he would come out with the crown and the robes and the scepter, and people would kneel down and shit in the audience for him. He was
one of the greats.
Absolutely, and he used to tell he used to tell oh my God, I'm so drunk. The guitarist, what was his name?
Brian May.
Brian May. He used to tell Brian May, who's now an astrophysicist, by the way. Okay. He's a doctor of astrophysics. Not for nothing, guys, but that is deep shit. Okay. He used to tell Brian May that he thought he sucked on piano. I thought Freddie Mercury was a very soulful piano player.
Really?
Especially when he did when they used to do Bohemian Rhapsody live, he used to put his whole person into it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was very cool the way that he used to perform stuff. And now Let's have a reality check.
Forgot about this song already.
Yep.
I hear the riff coming already.
Good one. It's a good one.
It's the first song I co-wrote with the band.
Is this you, Bill? Are you on this?
Nah, that's Tone on the bass.
Bill joined basically as we were wrapping up Keep It Real. Tony and Johnny were out by then. Yeah.
Anthony got snagged by his spell checker. Sorry, Anthony. We got Paul Krause in the audience. Dear God in heaven, it's Paul Krause on the goddamn Reverend Matty F show. Damn you all. You're listening to Terror Garden on the Reverend Matty F show. It doesn't get better than this. And I ask you, my friends, what better use of your time is there on this earth than to hang out and get fucked up with the Reverend? Deltomics, you evil-minded bastard! We love you!
Thank you again, Little Shocker. I love them too.
I really like Karma and Chaos. I like that album a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great googly moogly, it's Catwalk 86 on the Reverend Matty F show. This is you, Mike?
Yeah.
Nice.
Johnny and I are trading off solos. This is one of my parts.
I like the way you sculpt out your tone.
Thank you.
It gets out there, but it's not too obtrusive, and it's not muddy. Everything's like right there in your face.
Well, also kudos to our producer, Pete Izzo. He produced Karma and Chaos and Keep It Real.
Thank you, Pete.
Yep.
Thank you.
Just so you know, Deltomics is an accomplished pianist, and does they do his band Ex Gravitas does sort of how can I categorize it? It's kind of ethereal space rock, you know.
That's cool.
And he and I have been on each other's streams and basically hanging out on stream for years now. He's up in Toronto. Toronto, pronto. And there goes Bill. Yeah, Bill.
Hopefully everything's okay. And, smoke a lot.
Yeah, I hope nothing burned down. I don't know what happened.
Do I?
It's always an adventure.
Oh, Catwalk 86. This is in response to my asking, what better use of your time is there on this earth than to hang out and get fucked up with the Reverend Matty F? Paul's already there. Paul, you are a dude, man. I don't know how you stay so busy. You want to be in my band?
God, my Place on a full.
All right. Reality check by Tara Garden on the Reverend Matty F show.
It was reality check.
Hell yeah. Let's see, we got new messages. Oh, somebody was very cool by posting this. Nice.
Yep. If you want our stuff digitally, that's one of the places to go.
You know, if you send me that in an email, I can make that one of my. You can tell my robot when you see RevBot 1.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my robot, and every like 40 minutes or so, it randomly picks somebody to plug.
Okay.
So if you send me that, in an email, I could like put it in the plug list.
Sure.
You know, I plug Deltomics. I have a friend named Quint Williams, that I've known for years from streaming. There used to be a site called Street Jelly. I think it's still there, and it was the first site where you could go and make an account, and people could buy their little currency, bits or whatever it was, and they could tip you. All right, and Street Jelly would take like 50%. So I said, "Screw you," and I left. But the concept was there. But I ran into this guy Quint Williams, who lives over in a city not very far from here, and he has a feel on piano that I can only call space jazz. Okay.
Yo, what's going on over there? What are you cooking?
I got some sick pork and some wild chicken.
Wild chicken?
Well, yeah, it's actually from a hatchery.
All right.
Hunting season started, so sometimes people are scared to eat over here because they don't know what they're really going to have.
So what about the pork, man?
Squirrel.
It's really like feet, ears, and tail.
All right. Hey, my mother was Sicilian. I seen stuff.
Nice.
Okay. I've seen things that I don't think I've seen stuff that some people just wouldn't even think that you could eat.
I bet you I'm wrong.
All right.
Go to the back.
Okay, wait a minute. What are you laughing at, honey?
I just laugh at these guys all the time. It's great.
Okay. I do too. They're a lot of fun, right?
It's nothing personal. I get, it's
Yeah.
they're
I got to admit, I spoke to Paul on the telephone the other day because we were having these conversations about how we're going to do the show, and as you could see, I sort of ad-lib it. Okay.
That's the best way
And
sometimes.
so I tell him, look, Paul, for me to type all of this, it's going to take an hour. So why don't you just like call me up? So he calls me up, and now I've got Paul Terra on the telephone, and he sounds not like what we're looking at here with the little Frank Zappa thing. Is that a bitch to trim? That's enough, Paul. What part of Paul was that? Is this difficult for you to?
Where they took my intestine out while I was on stage with these guys.
All right.
It's a true story.
Really?
Yes, my intestine burst while we were performing.
Nice. What the hell did you eat?
I had died.
White Castle.
White Castle. That'll burst your intestines every time.
And my intestine burst while we were playing.
Oh God.
Finished the show, and then I spent like 6 months on and off in the hospital. And I actually wrote the lyrics to some of the songs while I was in a hospital bed.
All right. These kinds of things happen, stuff happens. Bad things happen to good people. So now, the little soul patch here, is that difficult to trim? You don't use a scissor for that, right?
I have a harder time getting the hair on my butt, to be honest.
Well, you could always get somebody to shave your butt for you.
I did that last time, and they wanted to charge me $25. Could you believe how much?
Yeah, but then when you
it sounds like sandpaper. Personally, I quit shaving my butt and my legs because I'm not a prostitute anymore.
It used to cost $10. It used to cost $10. Thanks to the pandemic, it's $25 now.
Wow.
Everything's going up. Come on.
Well, they just I heard today while I was listening to 1010 that the state gave permission to certain businesses to charge a recovering from COVID-19 charge.
Yeah.
on everything.
So in other
So
words- in
so
other
that
words, it's
that $5 shot of booze in the bar is now going to be like $8.
Yeah, no.
Jeez.
Okay.
So we got another.
Insane.
got
If you
another
ask me, the
question.
bar should be at home.
It is.
I know. Studio M is
Right now,
my
the
bar.
next moonshine we're gonna do is Applejack. See if I don't.
Sounds good.
Applejack.
Applejack.
Applejack, baby.
We're gonna probably waste a couple apples.
When
like
you were
throwing
kids-
them at each other while we're making it, but
When-
that's the plan.
when-
It should be out by Thanksgiving, 4-day weekend.
When you's all were Long Island children, and only one of you was old enough to drive, you know, your friends, and you used to go out to get drunk. What did you drink?
God.
We used to go by Boone's Farm.
By what?
Boone's Farm. It was like a fortified wine. There was an apple flavor and a strawberry flavor.
Boone's Farm and Southern Comfort.
Yes, Southern Comfort was another one that kids drank.
Southern Comfort.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
I used to drink wine coolers like back when I was like 17, you know,
Oh, this was
or like-
the late '80s.
Nice.
or like Zima. Remember Zima?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was this like the early '90s?
No. Well, yeah.
Because there
Yeah,
was
like mid 90s.
yeah, because there was Bartles and James,
Yeah.
which was the wine cooler,
So-
and
then I found beer, and then. I
and at the
just loved it.
time, I was hanging out with the guy that turned out in 2015 to be my rhythm guitarist, Southern Comfort, Moonshine, backwoods moonshine. This guy ended up being the rhythm guitarist in my band Bad Canary. But back then, we were hanging out and just doing experiments. We had a couple of Commodore 64s, and we used to use them as synthesizers and stuff. And we used to go down the corner in Brooklyn. This was in Brooklyn, and we used to buy Boone's Farm and hoe cakes, which were those moon pies. You know, the marshmallow
Yes.
sandwich.
The
We used to call them
yellow-
hoe cakes, and it was like, and his name was Dennis. And my song Aerosol Avenger is about him because he's now a world-renowned, like on display in art galleries, graffiti artist.
Nice.
Okay. And he used to be like, you know, Matt, this was before my identity as the Reverend Matty F even existed. And by the way, I'm a real reverend, just so you know.
Awesome.
I do wedding ceremonies. I did one back in July. There were like
Can
80
you do
people.
divorces?
Huh?
Can you do divorces?
No, unfortunately. Though I did get one lady. I got one lady to pay me to expose the evil spirit that she thought was in her house.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Um.
Why not?
Every
Yeah.
night.
I did
I got
a
something
wedding.
right here, my friend.
I did a wedding ceremony in July.
July.
I did a wedding ceremony in July. There were like 80 people there. No one wore a mask. And I did the ceremony, and I ran the hell out of there. I came home. I ran up the stairs, and there was Catwalk 86 waiting for me at the door. And I was like, I looked at her deadpan and said, I feel like I just did a wedding ceremony in a leper colony. Okay? And I literally, I got undressed in the hall, my fat self, naked in the hall. Okay?
And it went right in the
And
shower.
they right into the shower 5 times and straight into the laundry before those clothes ever came back in the house. Metal Shocker. As an unsigned band, how challenging does it get to be able to record your own music and put it out? Let's answer him because it's the second time he's asking this.
It's very challenging. I mean, the industry is very different nowadays. It's really hard to stand
We're sorry
out.
we didn't answer it the first time.
Yeah.
Go
Our
ahead, Mike.
apologies. No,
think
it's
that's-
difficult. You know, the industry is really struggling right now, especially with rock music, and there's so many bands and different sounds to compete against, and you know, you just do the best you can. We do it for the love of the music, and
Absolutely.
you know, each album we make is that point in time the best you can do.
Uh-huh.
You hope that it catches on and takes off. And
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to do with Keep It Real. I mean, the album's a little over a month old now, so we still got a long way to go with, you know, supporting it.
And a lot of the lyrics are very single person aimed at.
Wow. That'll
on
be
that.
Mr. Paul Terror to
You know,
Not really.
no, I'm not criticizing that at all. I think that's,
no.
I think whatever you got to do to rock your muse. You know, I went through a time in my life where my muse died and crawled into the wall. I couldn't write shit.
No, I think Paul
And
writes
sometimes you just got to
creative,
find what brings them out.
No, Paul writes very creative lyrics. They're very cryptic and open-ended. Not like he specifically calls a person out in a song, but it, gets you thinking. So.
Oh, I call them the hell out. Legend in Your Own Mind is about a guy that I actually know who tried to form a church where he was God.
I guess he wrote that off on his taxes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think somebody else tried doing that.
I think Metal Shocker 48 is your number one fan. You guys should give him some love right now. Give him some applause.
Woo! Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Happy to answer all your questions.
Metal Shocker 48, Terror Garden's number one fan on the Reverend Matty F Show. Damn you all.
There can only be one.
In the end, there can only be one. Deltomics.
Yeah, great question, too. Thank
I tried, Tom. You know, I was obsessing over this all freaking day long because this is the first interview of its kind that I've done on the Reverend Matty F Show. I didn't even know if the technology was going to work because I had been having some, let's just call them issues with it, the reason for it is you guys, more probably as much as anybody else, you've read some of the articles and some of the announcements about what's going to happen to the copyright rules comes January 1st. I might not be able to play anybody's stuff.
Yeah, because almost every live show we do, we live stream it on Facebook without question. So I hope we can continue to do that.
If you're doing it in a way where it's supposed to be entertainment, they are going to block you, and you're going to get blocked from watching YouTube and everything. There's a crackdown that's going to go on January 1st. So I might not be able to play the music the way I've been DJing this stuff. You could look at some of my past shows, and I totally rock it out with the DJing and everything. So I needed a way to take up the first half of the show. Usually what I do is I do the digital DJ thing, and I talk everybody up and whatnot and tell them where to go to buy your stuff and whatnot. And then in the second half, I break out the loops. I have a really sophisticated looping rig, okay? And I go to freaking town on it for like the second half. And then I hang out with the viewers, and we have fun, and we go over all the, we have a lot of inside jokes that happen during the show. And I needed something to come before the time where I threw on a loop and started jamming. Okay? So I figured I've been playing all these people's music for months. I've been playing your stuff in particular, for a long time. You're one of the first bands that actually contributed, probably right after the Freya Collective did. This sort of a format is what I might do for an hour before I jump in and start, jamming the keys. What does Metal Shocker 48 say? Amana, just a fan, digs the music, just regular, ordinary fan. There's nothing there is nothing ordinary about you, Metal Shocker 48, because you saw the event, you came in to hang out, you dig Terror Garden, okay? We at one point had 10 people in here out of the 66 people that said they were coming. Woo! Okay. Right now we still have 5.
Wait, you mean if they say yes on Facebook, that's not automatic?
What does
Huh?
that mean?
Man,
Yeah, like it's not automatic. That's why
my mind is blown right now.
that's why there's a song that my friend Quint did called Get on the Book. And it's sort of a satire of how he feels about people that are on Facebook pretty much that he feels they're on Facebook too much. So he sent it to me some months ago, and I sort of
Yeah, we wrote a song about that called "Selfie Queen."
Yes. But I'm going to play a Quince song, "Get on the Book," and I'm going to voice jam with it because he did this song actually on Facebook Live, and then they put him in Facebook jail for it. So it's so counterculture that we have to listen to it. This is Quince Feel on a keyboard. Yeah, man. Get on the book. You can post whatever's on tap. It's okay, no one gives a crap on Facebook. It's a cesspool for other people's drama. Yeah, Quint loves to jam. He did this with a little, I think it was a Juno D sequencer. On the book today. Yeah. But you know, sometimes everybody needs a little funk. Which brings me to my Clinton, Washington story.
Right here on Facebook.
You guys know who Clinton, Washington is, right? Okay, there was this.
George's brother?
Yeah, there was this funk band called Funkadelic back in the 70s.
That sounds familiar.
So, I was at a friend's house jamming with him in the Bronx, and he had a very funky bass style. Okay, and he was like, "I got some people coming over." The doorbell rings, and I put my beer down. I go and open the door, and there's George Clinton and Michael Hampton, otherwise known as Kid Funkadelic, standing there at the door. So I turn around and say, "Hey, how you doing?" And George falls to the floor, totally unconscious. So we dragged him in and put him on the couch. And then I let Michael Hampton play my guitar. And it was crazy because at the time, Parliament was big. So I went home and it was like, "How was your day?" And I was like, "I met Clinton, Washington and Kid Funkadelic, only Clinton, Washington couldn't talk because he passed out and was unconscious. He had red, white, and blue dreadlocks."
Awesome.
La, 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 la. Yeah, Quint on Facebook. So this is the kind of stuff that this guy does. And I dig it because sometimes he goes on late at night and he does a lot of stuff that's like this. He's got a couple of keyboards, a lava lamp. Sometimes he puts on crazy glasses and a shiny hat like he's Elton John. Very cool. You know, when you're streaming, it's kind of a different kind of entertainment because you could really like come out of your shell and do stuff that doesn't have to really fit the mold. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like sometimes I run a contest. If somebody tips me like $50, I'll hit myself in the face with a pie. Or I'll have somebody come in and hit me with like a lemon meringue pie or something. But that's worth $50.
See how much money I got. Hold on.
I don't have a pie. Don't do it now. 32 seconds, and he's gonna get on out of here. No, it's got to be sent electronically.
It's gotta be like PayPal.
What could you
Actually, it is PayPal.
Is there a GoFundMe for it?
Yeah,
No, it's just PayPal.
it's a GoFundMe.
If you look at the chat, I just sent how it's done.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, Deltomics. There we go. Check this out.
Bye, guys.
Later, bro.
Okay, you guys,
Go. See you later.
you guys are ready?
Yeah.
You guys are ready? All right, guys. It was great. It was great to have you on. Oh God, I had you on for over 2 hours. You guys were a lot of fun. Next time, I promise I'll make it a little bit shorter. Okay.
It's all good. Thank you.
Mike, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
G, thanks for being here.
Thank you, man.
You are
Appreciate
easier to look at than Paul, definitely.
Thank you.
Paul, thank you very much. I had been looking forward to this, and I'm glad that it worked. And Wild Bill, I'm sorry that you had so many problems connecting,
man.
but this was a really fun stream. If you want to watch it for a little bit afterwards, after I take you out of the stream, I'm gonna jump on the loop station and do a little bit. You guys, ladies and gentlemen, Terror Garden on the Reverend Matty F Show. All right. Peace up, bitches. All right, that was Terror Garden on the Reverend Matty F Show. Thank you very much. Let me just clean up a little of this. There we go. And this can go. All right.